What up, humans? Kurumi here, and welcome to the Mobile Legends Bootcamp. In this video, we are going to talk about the fighter, Dyrroth. We don't know if it should be pronounced as Dyrroth or Dyrroth, but we will be using both pronunciation during this bootcamp. Dyrroth has a good set of area of effect, blink, dash, and burst skills. Our Prince of the Abyss, Dyrroth is a fighter hero. I consider Dyrroth as a great sustainable fighter, since his passive provides him health regeneration, based on his damage dealt on his third attack to enemies around him. Not only that, his second and ultimate skill can destroy enemies with low health, even tank heroes. Now, let me share some tips and tricks on how to use Dyrroth based on my experience. I will also teach you some combos and techniques on the latter part of this bootcamp. But before that, let me explain his skills one by one for further understanding. Dyrroth's passive, Wraith of the Abyss, lets Dyrroth release a circle strike after 2 basic attacks to hit enemies around him. That deals a certain amount of physical damage to enemies. All the damage dealt by this strike will regenerate health for Dyrroth, which will depend on the damage dealt to the enemy. The circle strike will not consider attack effects like Demon Hunter's Sword or Golden Staff. The good news is lifesteal works on his circle strike. I'm not sure if this is a bug or not, but as what we have tested so far, lifesteal works. Also take note that spell vamp items will take effect since it's still considered as spell damage. We will explain our item experiments on the tips and tricks section later. Aside from those, Dyrroth's passive also grants rage points for each damage dealt to enemies. Meaning, dealing basic attacks or skills to enemies will grant him rage points. The red bar below his health is the rage bar. His rage bar can contain a maximum of 2 full bars of rage. 1 bar of rage, or 50% of his rage, will enhance his first skill and second skill. This will be explained when we tackle on his first and second skill. Lastly, the cooldown of his first and second skill will be reduced by 1 second every time he unleashes the circle strike. Dyrroth's first skill, Burst Strike, lets Dyrroth release a burst strike in a designated direction, dealing a certain amount of physical damage to enemies along the way. This also reduces their movement speed. This effect lasts for a short period. The damage decays against the same target. When a skill is enhanced by Rage or Abyss, this skill will have a longer range, and will deal 40% more damage. It will also have the movement speed reduction effect doubled. Dyrroth's second skill, Specter Staff, lets Dyrroth dash in the designated direction.
I do what I want to do.
Upon hitting a target, he will stop and will deal a certain amount of physical damage. Upon using this skill again, he will hit the locked target and releases a Fatal Strike. Fatal Strike deals another certain amount of physical damage, and reduces the target's physical defense by 50%. Take note that this skill will only stop when hitting heroes, jungle monsters, turtle, and the Lord. Meaning, when casting on minions, Dyrroth will only pass through them, dealing no damage at all and just dashing through. On the other hand, the Fatal Strike can only be used on heroes, jungle monsters, and the turtle.
Let me take you to another world. Who would recognize someone?
When a skill is enhanced by Rage or Abyss, this skill will deal 50% more damage. It will slow the target extra by 90% and reduces the target's physical defense by 75%. Do take note that the values for the movement reduction and physical defense reduction may change on the future updates. Dyrroth's ultimate skill, the Destruction, lets Dyrroth charge and release a fatal strike forward along a path, dealing a certain amount of physical damage. This will deal damage to the enemies in the path. Not only that, this will deal a bonus damage based on the 80% of enemies' lost health points. This will also reduce their movement speed for a short period of time. There are so many items that you can buy for Dyrroth. You can focus on items that grants physical damage, items that gives you life steal, items that increases your attack speed, and items that increases critical chance and critical damage. For me, I choose to buy items that grants life steal, critical chance, critical damage, physical damage, and attack speed items to Dyrroth. As for starting item, you can consider buying Swift Boots. Swift Boots grants additional attack speed and movement speed. Having additional attack speed will make your attacks faster. This will let you deal lots of attacks, especially during team fights. Buying attack items, such as Demon Hunter Sword. This item gives you physical attack and attack speed. Its unique passive will give a bonus effect on your basic attack. This bonus effect will deal a percentage of target's current health points as additional physical damage. Demon Hunter Sword's another unique passive grants a 4% life steal for 3 seconds on each basic attack, which lasts for 3 seconds. This effect stacks up to 5 times. But do take note that the bonus effect will not work on Dyrroth's Circle Strike. You can consider buying Berserkers Fury. This item gives you additional physical attack and critical chance. Its unique passive grants you additional critical damage on your critical hits. Also, dealing critical hits will increase your physical attack by a certain amount for a short period of time. You might also want to consider Scarlet Phantom. This item grants physical attack, attack speed, and critical chance. Its unique passive grants you additional attack speed and critical chance after dealing a critical hit to an enemy. This buff lasts for a few seconds. You might want to consider Blade of Despair. This item grants additional physical attack and movement speed. Its unique passive will give you additional physical attack when the target's health is below a certain percentage. The movement speed bonus can also help you chase enemies or escape death. You might also want to consider Haases Claws. This item grants you life steal and additional physical attack. Its unique passive will grant you extra life steal when your health point reaches a certain point. As we know, Deadly Blade and Necklace of Durance can decrease our lifesteal and health regeneration. But did you know that these items cannot affect Spell Vamp? Yes, it does not affect Spell Vamp. So, for this scenario, you can consider Bloodlust Axe. This item grants physical attack and cooldown reduction. Its unique passive grants 20% Spell Vamp. Spell Vamp regenerates health points from damage dealt by skills. Since Dyrroth also deals area of effect damage with his skills, then you can still sustain inside team fights while using your skills, even when your lifesteal rate is decreased. We have tested items like Oracle on Dyrroth. We also tested the effects of Deadly Blade and Necklace of Durance against Dyrroth's passive. We will be tackling on our testing on the tips and tricks section later. The item build for Dyrroth really depends on the enemy's lineup. So make sure to read each item's description so you can adapt in-game. One of the best spell to be used on Dyrroth is Purify. This will help you to be immune to crowd control skills for a short period. This will let you use your skills without the worry of being stunned. You might also want to consider Retribution. This will deal true damage to the target minion or jungle monster. When you have a jungling item, having this spell will decrease the damage taken from jungle monsters permanently. This spell will help you farm more gold faster. Building items quickly will give you advantage against enemies, making it for you to prey easier on squishy targets like Marksman and Mage. In my opinion, you can consider 2 emblems for Dyrroth. First, you can consider Custom Fighter Emblem Set. Custom Fighter Emblem could provide extra stats according to your needs as a fighter. Set Bravery to its max level because it can give you extra physical damage. Higher physical damage means higher damage for your attacks. Setting Invasion to max level will provide you physical penetration. Higher physical penetration means higher damage on your basic attacks and skills. Get Festival of Blood to be granted 8% of spell vamp. Killing an enemy hero grants an extra 1% spell vamp. The spell vamp is really helpful in the early game, since your skills will regenerate some health for you. Do take note that spell vamp is not affected by those anti-lifesteal items. Next, you can consider Custom Assassin Emblem set. Custom Assassin Emblem could provide extra stats according to your needs as a fighter. Set agility to its max level because it can give you additional movement speed. Higher movement speed means higher chance to chase enemies or escape death. Setting invasion to max level will provide you physical penetration. Higher physical penetration means higher damage on your basic attacks and skills. Get Killing Spree to restore health points and gain movement speed upon killing an enemy. This effect lasts for 5 seconds. With Dyrroth's ultimate, you can easily kill dying enemies. So, this is a great buff for you so you can easily chase other enemies or escape death. Set second skill to max level first. Prioritizing this makes the cooldown lower. That means, you can cast this skill again to chase enemies or escape death. Prioritize first skill less since his second skill is what you need for chasing enemies. Always upgrade his ultimate skill when available for upgrading. In terms of jungling, you can upgrade your first skill on level 1 when you are against 2 jungle monsters, because it's better to deal more area of effect damage on more than one enemy, and it will also boost your rage points more, making your first skill be enhanced by the abyss more often. Also, it will generate more health for you when you are on the fighter emblem with Festival of Blood. Meanwhile, we suggest you upgrade first your second skill on level 1 when you are against one jungle monster, because your second skill reduces the armor of the jungle monster, which boosts your attacks on it. You can easily kill Turtle with Dyrroth even on level 4 or below. With his passive skill, you can easily regenerate some health. With his second skill, you can reduce the turtle's physical defense and cause more damage with your skills and basic attacks. Especially with Retribution, you can secure the turtle kill. You can also go kill the Lord without flinching. As he is the Prince of Lifesteal, you can easily sustain yourself on killing the Lord. The damage dealt by the Lord is nothing but a tickle for you. Dyrroth's passive is what you need to sustain inside team fights. With the Circle Strike, you will damage all the enemies around you, and also regenerate some health from the damage dealt to those enemies. It is recommended to build attack speed and critical chance items on Dyrroth, since he deals the Circle Strike on his third basic attack, and the Circle Strike can deal critical hits. Tested some items for Dyrroth's passive skill. First, we tested Oracle if it boosts the health regeneration of his passive skill. On the left, we have the testing without Oracle. On the right, we have the testing with Oracle. We can see that Oracle boosted the health points gained. Now, let's test the effect of Deadly Blade on Dyrroth. On the left, we have the testing for health gained when he is not affected by Deadly Blade. On the right, we have the testing for health gained when he is affected by Deadly Blade. As you can see, Deadly Blade really affects his health regeneration on his passive. So, to counter that, we can consider Bloodlust Axe or Oracle. Oracle will boost your health regeneration on your passive and lifesteal by a percentage. Meanwhile, Bloodlust Axe grants spell vamp on all your skills including your passive skill. As we have mentioned on our previous boot camps, Deadly Blade and Necklace of Durance doesn't affect spell vamp. So, Bloodlust Axe and Spell Vamp emblems can still help you sustain in team fights. Dyrroth's first skill has a fast cooldown. Given that you also have your passive skill to lower it down more, your first skill can really abuse items like Endless Battle and Thunder Belt. Dyrroth's second skill is what you need to chase enemies or escape death, with also the ability to reduce the target's physical defense upon clicking it again. This will greatly help your skills and basic attacks deal more damage. This dash can pass through walls. Also, the Fatal Strike can pass through walls. Dyrroth's ultimate skill is what you need for finishing off your enemies. The damage of this skill also considers the health points lost on the targets. The more they are injured, the more damage they will receive. This is really good since this skill can hit all enemies in the area of effect. In terms of his combo, there are lots of combos that can be done to Dyrroth based on the situation. But in terms of chasing an enemy, we follow a simple combo. It is recommended that you have rage charges before going in team fights, but it's also alright if not. First, we use second skill to dash near the enemy. It's still okay if you don't hit the enemy initially. Then, we use it again to deal the fatal strike on them. This fatal strike will reduce the target's physical defense. Then, use first skill to damage enemies and slow them down. If you have Retribution along with an upgraded jungle item, use it on the target to further slow them down and gain a shield. Then, deal basic attacks to gain some rage and also to deal circle attacks as well. Then, when the health of the target is below 30%, you can now use your ultimate skill. In case there are still health left, just do basic attacks or use your available skill. In terms of team fights, we can say that you save your second skill for chasing enemies, or to escape death. Still, it's better if you can deal the fatal strike to an enemy, since this will lower his physical defense, making your team's physical damage to deal more on that enemy. Additional tip. When your enemy tried tilting you with trash talks, try to say something opposite of what he said. What I said here is not considered toxic, but I believe it hurt him a lot. Super lots. Still, we suggest that you just mute them off. Taking trash talks seriously could really affect your gameplay, big time. Just like this guy who took what I said seriously. Sometimes reality hurts. The tips I mentioned are just some of the ways you can use Dyrroth. This video just guides you on how to use Dyrroth the Kurumi way. So, once again, this is Kurumi and that's how you use Dyrroth. Thanks for watching. Do not forget to like and share this video. Also subscribe to my channel for more contents by clicking on the subscribe button below. For our skin giveaway events, check out our community tab in YouTube for the mechanics on how to join. See you on the next Mobile Legends Bootcamp. Cheers!